Well, welcome to We Built This Brand. My name is Chris Hill, and today I am joined by Adhrucia. Adhrucia, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Happy to have you on here as my co-host today. It's exciting.
I'm happy to be here, guys. I'm the host of Conversations with Curiosity, and today we're at Power Forward with We Built This Brand.
Absolutely, and it's so exciting today that we get to speak to Stacy Spikes, the co-founder of MoviePass, and I guess, are you the full owner now of MoviePass? Did you?
Yeah, we bought it back and have relaunched it, and very excited about that.
Yeah, well, we'll dive into all that in just a little bit. So, would love for you to just share with us, like, for those who don't know, what is MoviePass?
So MoviePass is basically Netflix for movie theaters. It was the first theatrical subscription service that allowed you to pay a monthly fee and go to any movie theater you want in the US and go to the movies. It used to be a movie a day, but now it's more like 11 or 12, depending upon what plan you want. But the original product was you could go to a movie every day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a relief for all of us who are worried about people putting butts in seats for movies.
Yeah.
Tell us, while you're working on that side, what are we doing at MoviePass to make sure that those butts get in the seats?
Well, you know, one of the new things that we've done, it's a first product line that we're introducing in 12 years, is we're creating the first fantasy sports league for movie going.
Oh my goodness.
It adds a competitive layer that fandom can be competitive. And we're really, really excited about that. So all that trash talking amongst your friends about how a movie's going to do, now you each can put their money where their mouth is.
Gamifying movies. I love this.
That's right. That's right.
So is that just for like a season of movies? Is that for like the Oscars? How does all that work?
Yeah, so there's several different games that are there. There's Oscar season. You can deal with everyday box office, so it doesn't matter. And then you have things like, what will Mission Impossible 8 do compared to the other 7 Mission Impossibles? Or where will this movie rank in Tom Cruise's whole history? Or how will Beyonce's concert film compete against Taylor Swift's film? So you can do category battles. You can do all of this stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun.
We were talking about you just got off stage, and we were talking about how you as MoviePass came in and really disrupted an industry that doesn't really love to be disrupted that often. And many of the people watching today will be tech founders, tech investors, people who are interested in entertainment. Curious, if you could give our audience a piece of advice as someone who came with the tech angle into an industry like entertainment that doesn't like to be disrupted and did the disruption. What are the things that you would recommend tech founders pay attention to when trying to disrupt an industry that doesn't usually like the help or isn't open arms to embracing change?
Yeah, I think no matter what sector you're in, because I think all sectors have incumbents who don't want to give up market share to newcomers. I think you need to figure out one key KPI that you're focused on, a key performance indicator or some metric. And at the end of the day, your job is to make it cheaper, better, and faster. And so whether you benefit the consumer or you benefit the B2B and the other businesses, that's your job. Your job is to shave off friction that helps somehow make things better. That's all any businesses ever do. And so as long as you focus on that, stay focused on that number, you'll make it.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
Excellent advice.
Yeah. So let's take it back. So let's talk a little bit about the inception of movie film. What was your the inception?
No, you said movie phone.
I said, did I really?
Yes.
Good Lord.
He did. You should just keep it in.
How did I say that?
You should just keep it in.
We're gonna, we
just
do
keep
have
it
the
in.
opening failure,
Yes.
so we'll just
We're just
put it all
gonna keep it
together.
in.
We'll leave that in. Gene.
I'm no longer the CEO of MoviePass. I'm the CEO of MoviePass. Now you're good. You're never gonna make any more mistakes.
That's exactly right.
I've covered both bases for you.
I really, in my head, I thought I said MoviePass, so I don't know where that came from. It's the jet lag. I'll blame it on that. Coming from the East Coast, but I mean, I've mentioned this before, but like, I remember a time when Regal Cinemas had like a pass that you could get. And for a while, I think they were actually trying to I can't remember if it was like fill the gap that MoviePass left, or if they were trying to compete with, or it was a little bit of both. But
I remember this.
Like, yeah, like what was that early journey like for you?
In the beginning, we went to all of the studios and theaters and proposed this idea, and everyone was like, no one will do subscription, and who cares about a pass? And they just thought it was a dumb idea. We went around 5 years and got told no for 5 years. Then AOL, it's like America Online back in the day.
Thank you for explaining to our audience.
Dial up.
Who did acquire movie phone?
Yes, who did acquire movie phones, saved you there. And so they made the first investment because they understood subscription businesses. And they're like, we get subscription and we see that there is room for a Netflix for movie theaters here. And that's what we were. And once that started, then we didn't try and convince the theaters anymore. We just tried to convince the fans. And they loved it. They loved the service. They loved that they could go to any theater they want. We made it really simple and easy. And it kind of took off from there.
That's really cool. So it grew and it got exciting, but then there came some challenges, right? What were those challenges?
The very first one was we had signed up through a supplier called movietickets.com, who's since merged with Fandango. And so when we ran into a contract dispute with them, they were able to turn off the whole business. And that was painful, but it caused us to create our own technology that then prevent them from turning us off. So I always say that everything doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. Well, when they did that, they actually created the opportunity for us to build our own tech that was unstoppable. And so we had a card that now the person will walk up to the kiosk, and whether that theater was integrated with us or not, you walk up to the kiosk, you swipe, and you go. And that was the big change that happened. That problem, we fixed that, and that caused us to have a impenetrable moat that is always key in success for businesses.
You've had quite a wild ride as a founder. And I know that you have your new book out now, Black Founder, that details for many of us founders out there what that ride is and how to really ride the waves and the ups and the downs, which most of us will face is an inevitability. What is one of the key takeaways from your founder journey that you would like to impart wisdom to those who are getting ready to strap onto this ride and take the roller coaster ride of founderdom?
I think there's the biggest thing I would say is don't take it personal. You are your product, but then you're not your product. Yes, you should take it. It should mean everything to you, but remember, it's this malleable thing that needs to fit in the marketplace, and audiences need to be able to engage with it. So you have all of those things that have to happen. And sometimes we can get so caught in our heads about how we think it should look. You got to leave room for building the new thing, and you are the visionary. But when you build new, you can be early, you can be late, your timing can be off, your costs can be off. You're going to build something very expensive like the new Apple headset, the Vision Pro headset, very expensive, great idea, but that cost is going to have to come down. Even Apple deals with that. So you got to remember, leave enough room for the flexibility to go through. Oh, the best advice is to remember, no matter what you think, it's going to cost you twice as much and take twice as long. No matter how your best plans, it's going to cost you twice as much and take twice as long as you think.
And Stacey talks a lot about normalizing the peaks and the pitfalls of being a founder. Absolutely essential advice. Everyone has to go out and read this book.
Absolutely. It's definitely worth checking out. Yeah. That's really neat. So what do you see as the future of MoviePass?
We've got the new daily fantasy sports line coming, which is huge. That's called Mogul. You can go to mogul.moviepass.com and you can check out that, and you can sign up to be on the wait list. We already have more than 400,000 people on the wait list. We are excited because we think it gamifies movie going and it adds a layer of competition to something that's there, but no one's given it utility. And so we're thrilled about that. And we think that it's going to help drive traffic, and it's going to help, get even more engagement and more participation in ways that film fans don't, but sports fans do. And so we want to bring that sports fanness to the theaters. I went to see Superman this past weekend, and everybody was like in the theater with their Superman shirts. And I thought, this is no different than if I went to a sports game.
Yeah.
And, but yet there's things that sports fans have that we want to make sure film fans have as well.
We're on We Built This Brand. So I have a question about building that brand. And we talked a little off camera about this, but I think that that relationship with your consumer becomes so important. And when MoviePass was going through harder times, you mentioned when you spoke that you had MoviePass fans that were basically calling to the public to bring it back.
Yeah.
Can you explain how you created such a strong connection with your consumer?
So we were film fans. And when we were talking before, I said, I always use surf analogies. Like, if I added a fin to my board and it's helping me perform better, and then I share that, it's like we're already film fans and we're sharing efficiencies that we do. Well, we're already in our office every Monday. Friday, we're saying what the weekend gross is going to be. We're all predicting what it's going to be. And then Monday, we're seeing who was closest. We were doing that anyway as part of our culture. And so all we're doing is extending what we do in the office already. And we're always trash talking. And among our employees, there's ones who will be like, some people were like, Minecraft is not going to make money. And yet it became a meme, and people were like, I am Steve. Yeah. And they were losing their mind and throwing popcorn all over the theaters. And in our office, it was very different. It was, that's not going to make money. And then it was, are you kidding? And it was projected to do 60 million by the professionals, and it did almost 120. It doubled what they thought. And so nobody knows. Yeah. But the fans are going to be, it becomes a contact sport, and it becomes a participation sport unlike anything that's ever been done before. So I think you just focus on geeking out about
authenticity,
being a fan, and bringing that culture to what you want for yourself, just bringing it to others.
That's great advice for personal branding and branding overall.
Absolutely, it is. Yeah, you want to make that connection with the
100%.
The brand. So that's awesome. Well, as we wrap up, I always ask this question at the end of the interview, which is, what brand do you admire the most? We talk a lot about the other brands. I always love seeing the influence of people that are creating brands, building brands. Like, what is influencing them? So for you, what would that brand be?
I grew up around skater brands and surf brands, and they are still around today.
They are.
And there is a culture to them that I think no one has done. When you look at Vans, when you look at Burton, when you look at Billabong, when you look at, and they are so hardcore. When you buy one of those brands, it's a culture. So one of the things that I grew up with and admired was skate brands and surf brands. And even to this day, 20, 30 years later, they're still strong and powerful. And there's a there's a culture around them because it's related to an activity. And so I always say, make sure your product is related to an activity. And so our activity is not movie watching, it's movie going. And so we want to own movie going as an activity. And so you sitting on your couch and watching a movie is one thing, but you being in a theater and you getting your friends and you going, we want to own that space. And so when you can own that, you own mind share. And so always put your brand, make sure your brand is part of an activity. Airbnb's activity is going on vacation and renting someone else's home. You know, using my iPhone, it's an activity. You need something that the body engages in. And that to me is how you build a great brand.
Surf and skate brands. I love it.
Yeah. They definitely have a long-lasting history. I mean, just look at like Tony Hawk right now, just the resurgence of all the games that they're reissuing and everything, and still relevant in culture too.
Exactly.
I could ask you 13,000 more questions, but I'll save that for another day. Thank you so much for being with us.
Absolutely.
Thank you. This
Stacey.
was a
Thank you.
pleasure. I really enjoyed being here.
All righty.